Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Tea Talk. This is episode 11, and we're brought to you by Driftin Threads, LLC. You can go ahead and get some pretty cool products over at driftinthreads.com. Use code TEATALK for 10% off at checkout. Dana, how are you doing this week?
I am doing good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm well. Busy
Nice.
week, as always. We're working, stay busy, make that money. That's why we stay ahead of these other people who are wanting to get free handouts, but unfortunately, looks like they're not able to get them. Hey-o!
Yeah. No more of those.
Yeah, no, none of those. We have a very interesting lineup of topics for you guys this week. This is going to be very interesting. We have a couple things that we've wanted to talk about, some very interesting topics, some stuff about MirandaSings, some stuff about my Twitter rampages, you can call them. But, Dana, go ahead, take it away. First topic, I'll give it to you.
Okay, well, first topic. So I don't know if anybody's been like watching the news or anything, but affirmative action got taken out by the Supreme Court. At least um when it comes to universities or colleges. So the case I believe was Harvard versus um the United States of America or something. Is that what it was?
I'm not sure.
I think it was something like that. Or something. It was something like that. But yeah. So the affirmative action essentially is it's a policy that basically makes it so that certain people can get into the college easier just based on the fact that they are a certain identity group. Um, and if you think about it for like 2 seconds, it's like inherently discriminatory. Like it just kind of makes sense that way. Um, so if you want less discrimination, you would not want that policy to exist. So that's why we got rid of it, obviously.
Well, and yeah, no,
But
and that's a great thing. It's a good thing, but people are freaking out because they were told the wrong story, and then you get the hive mind on it, and they start going
yeah,
bonkers, bananas, and it's same old story for everything. They're making everything a social issue. Every legal issue is becoming a social issue, and it's a big problem. And I have a problem with it. I feel like social issues are just distractions. I've said this multiple times before, especially on this podcast and with you. Everything is a distraction. All this stuff is a distraction. I mean, we are literally in the midst of I would say the biggest and the best psyop that's ever been done. I think it's happening. I think it's happening right now. I think all this is BS. I think everything is like just made up. I think all these social issues are made up for sure.
hmm yeah,
And that's one of them. I think that now you're going to see people marching. Oh, this, and this. Well, people don't know that the biggest groups affected by that was Asian Americans and
hmm
Asian background, Americans with an Asian background and white Americans. Those were the two
yeah,
most affected groups. So they took it away. And I always say you should get the reward based off your work. So, for example, if you have a right and a purpose, and you have good grades, and you're able to get into these prestigious schools, then you should be able to get into them. I don't think that you should be able to get accepted to a school, based on your race, religion, whatever. I think that's all useless, and I think those quotas and standards that those universities had, and they knew they were in the wrong. But it's artificial diversity, which I think is a very bad thing, and I think artificial diversity is what causes mass problems and like arguments about diversity.
yeah. And unfortunately, for the people that were able to get into these schools, who were, you know, they were they got in based on the affirmative action
Yeah.
program. I mean, they're not qualified to be
Mm-hmm.
in those classrooms.
Yeah.
That's like the problem there.
And
And
then
how
that
are
skews
they setting them up for
statistics.
failure?
That skews
setting them up
statistics as
for
well.
failure.
And that too.
Yeah.
You know, it skews statistics because then you're going to say, well, we have this percentage of this student and we have this percentage of this student. And those percentages are going to be skewed because how many of percentages of those students actually tried to get into that position? How many of those students actually put in the work, put in the extra hours, you know, study, did what they had to do to get into those, you know, universities, colleges, and all these different things. In the job force, for example, you're setting these people up to fail, and, you know, they are going to fail. And now you're putting them in, a lot of the times, a worse situation than they came from, which is then, in turn, what causes even more issues. So I think it was a good thing to get rid of it. I think the Supreme Court agreed that it was a good thing to get rid of it because obviously they wouldn't have, you know, voted on it if they didn't agree on that.
Well, it was a 6-3 decision, too. I mean, it was pretty over the top.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. And then they also struck down the student loan forgiveness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back to the affirmative action thing. I mean, I think that, you know, that like it's not necessarily that the people that they got in based on affirmative action weren't trying to get into schools. It's not like they weren't like not studious.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they didn't have the same level of, you know, I guess it would be like expertise or something, or GPA or requirements. They didn't have that same level to get in. And that doesn't mean they're not qualified for school.
Yeah.
It just means they're not qualified for that particular school. So, I mean, there's like myself, I didn't try like super hard to get like insane, you know, like an insane GPA. I mean, I did good in my classes overall, but I didn't like work my butt off because my goal wasn't to end up in some prestigious university. It wasn't that important to me.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to school, you know, and get a degree, but I didn't think going to some big, you know, school that requires a 4.0 GPA was gonna. It didn't matter to me, you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I don't see myself having problems getting a job because I didn't get a 4.0 GPA, you know, and I didn't make it into Harvard or something. Like it's not going to prevent me from getting into the workforce, you know?
Yeah.
And that's really the most important thing.
And I don't think it's not just for prestigious schools, you know, these schools had to meet quotas, you know what I mean? High schools do the same thing. You know, private high schools, a lot of the time they do the same thing, but it's not, you know, that's not by law. But these big prestigious schools, if you don't deserve to go there, you're not going there. I'm sorry. Like, that's how it is. These free handouts, these free, you know, participation trophies, these free rewards. Oh, you know, no kid left behind. What the hell is that? No kid left behind. Now you're forcing a kid to go up. He's not ready. If a kid needs to actually be held back, he should be held back. I don't care if he's going to be made fun of or anything like that. He should be held back. Or he should be put in better programs that are going to help him, you know, get to the levels that he needs to be. Sacrifice a summer vacation or two.
It's just delaying the failure because there's going to be a failure at some point. And it's better that failure is early on so that they can correct it and learn from it and move on from there and be a better person. Yeah. That's the problem. Because these people, like, they get through school and they come out and they're like, okay, well, I didn't like learn anything, you know, like I just kind of passed the test, and you know, they come out and they're useless. And they never learned from.
Well, a lot of people are useless, you know. And I always say it. A lot of these people in the job, no, they are. You know, fucking Wendy behind the Chipotle, you know, cash register. All you did was flip the fucking iPad. You didn't make my bowl. You flipped an iPad. You're not entitled to a tip. At McDonald's, they're starting to do the tip thing. Oh, great job. Great job. You pressed 3 buttons on a screen. Yeah, I'm going to really tip you. Like, people who deserve tips are waitresses. You know, they're running around. They have to, you know, get drinks, get food, run food, make sure everybody's okay, check in with all their tables. Then you deserve a tip. If you're a drive-thru or cashier worker and you're flipping an iPad and you're looking at me, 15%? 15%? Nah, go scratch. Come on. You're not getting a penny out of me. Not a penny. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So stupid. And you know, then you get these people that get these degrees and then they think they're better than everybody else because they get these degrees. It's like, congratulations, you now have a degree in the arts. Good for you. What the fuck are you going to do with that? Are you even, do you have a portfolio? Have you been working on your art? Some people do the right thing with art, right? Like your father did a great thing with art. He sells his art. He does, you know, he actually has his name out there for art. But, you know, you get Skippy who's like, oh, mom, I want to go to art school. Dad, I want to go to art school. And then he wants to live in LA his whole life. Like that, it's not going to work.
Well, if you want to live in LA, you have to make enough money to live there,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't so I mean, there's a lot, and you don't have to go to school for a lot of these things. I mean, school may help. Like, I mean, there's a lot of like school there's a lot of classes in these colleges and stuff that are, helpful. I mean, I just took like a visual communications class, and I mean, that helps a little bit with some understanding. But like, if you already kind of understand that stuff, like you don't need the schooling. So don't go to school for it.
But it's different. It's
Unless your
different though
job requires
because
it.
it's
That would
different
that
though.
would
Yeah, like I understand it in a completely different way now. It's that degree is giving you dollar signs, dude. That degree is giving you that more money. Like if you want to go into an IT job just with a certificate, I'm sorry. I'm going to be making more than you. Anybody with a degree is going to be making more than you. And that's just the reality of it. If you have a higher
Mhm.
level degree, you're going to get paid for the higher level degree. And that's the reasoning why you get those higher level degrees. That's why doctors are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and why a master's person can only make a couple of hundred of thousands of dollars a year. You know what I mean? If they're in higher positions, in starting positions, obviously the gap is way bigger. Doctors are going to be spending more money and take more effort, but they make more reward in the end. What we do, if we choose to go in a higher schooling like masters, like I'm doing, and higher than that, then our pay reflects that. Your pay reflects the work that you put in. Your job sees that. You're making yourself more valuable by doing these things. That's why it's important.
Mhm. For sure. But I also think that these days, I mean, I think we're kind of the last generation where going to school is like a necessity.
Hmm.
Um, because I think the way that um like jobs, like organizations and
Yeah,
um companies, they're looking at these people coming out of college and they're like, do they have the experience required for the
yeah.
job? Not necessarily like, do they know
But
the
that's
textbook?
that's different too, though, because it's on that student's job. It's their best interest to go get an internship or go get a job in the
Right,
field.
right,
That's their responsibility. It's no If
right.
they're looking for experience, you better have that experience and don't even apply to that company. Because like
Yeah.
I see a lot of these kids, especially in our field, getting out of college, and saying, oh, I'm gonna go work, for Google or whatever like that, and they could barely hold like a normal help desk job, and they can barely do that right. You know what I mean? It's you're I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think we're the last generation that it's going to matter that we're going to school. I think we're the last generation that is going to realize how important school is, and everybody else is just going to want these handouts. I mean, that's what it is. Everybody thinks they're entitled just because they know information, but you need that piece of
Mhm.
paper. You need that piece of paper to know, so they know that you know that info. It's not about what you know. It's about what can you prove to these employers that is going to get you a higher paycheck at the end of the day. And that's what it is. That's just the reality of it.
Well, what I'm saying is that I don't think that necessarily proves anymore that you know what you know. Um, so I think that's why a lot of people are doing certificates and doing the internships and having a job. I really think that it all kind of works together to get you into your position, right? And that's what the employer sees. But if you're coming out of school and you're just like, oh yeah, I've got my degree, I'm gonna get a job. No, that's not how it works. You got to work your way up. And I also think nowadays a lot of people and a lot of employers they're looking at other alternatives of learning things. It's not, you don't necessarily have to go to a four-year
Yeah.
university to be, the same level of qualification
Oh yeah.
as
No, for sure. But if you want to make the
some of
same
these
amount of
guys that
money, you need to put that effort in. You could get the job. Getting the
for
job is
now,
not.
for now. And I
I
don't
don't
think
think that's
that's
going
going
to
to
change.
last
That's not going
forever.
to change. That's not going to change.
I
I
I
don't think
think
it's going
I
to change.
think it's I think it's currently changing.
There's
Um
no realistic reality where a Harvard graduate in law is going to be making less money than a Bayer University law graduate. There's no reality where that's true at all. You will get the job, sure. Certificates and stuff will get you the job. If you want to maximize your pay and maximize your income, you need these higher level degrees, you need these higher level certificates, you need the
It's just
degrees
more
and the
bargaining
certificates
power.
at the same time. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I have no doubt that getting the jobs are going to be easier. The pay is not going to be better by any, or the same, or relatively near the same by any means. By any means, I don't think that's going to change.
I think it's in the process of changing right now because I think, like I said, I think the employers and I mean even some students are like, I can go through these other methods that may be more worth my while. Like for example, instead of going through a university, you get right out of high school and
Yeah,
you go into a field
yeah,
and you learn and you work on projects, you work with a company, and they see that you know more than
hmm
some of these other people. You're a more valuable asset to that company,
yeah.
and they may even pay you more because of that.
But here's the thing now. You
And
you
at
applying
the
to that
same
company
time,
after you got all that hands-on experience, you applying to a company, say two people apply to a company. One person took the extra 4 years while they had a job and got their masters. They did that.
mhm,
Then there's you who just took the 4 years to learn in the trade. Did you get any
mhm.
certificates in this hypothetical situation? I'm asking you.
Let's say no.
Okay. You're not getting the job over me.
If you had the
If
certificates.
I no, if I had the if I had the masters and I had the job experience with the masters, there's no way that this
Oh,
job
yeah, yeah, yeah.
experience person is getting that job over this person with
Unless
the masters. There's no
unless
way.
they can unless they can show you their portfolio and what they've done, what they've accomplished, if that is more interesting to the employer than you, who may not have anything, you may be able to say, oh yeah, I worked here, but never, you can't like prove what you worked on and what you were a part of. It may be more interesting to the
But that's
employer,
the
the
thing
other
again
person.
though.
That
That's the
it's
responsibility
hypothetical.
of the person applying to do to have that
Right,
portfolio.
right.
It's of
That's what I'm
that
saying.
person. But I'm saying in that case, if it's the same, if they both have a portfolio of their work and the only difference is their level of education, the education is going to win every time. If they
Right, yeah.
both
But it's just
work,
another thing. It's another
you
thing on
know,
top of it. I'm saying, but I'm not like disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that like these days, it's not necessarily essential to go to a university
yeah, it's not
to be
essential.
to be yeah. And I think it's changing to, there's more options. Like there's the online schooling option. There's there's YouTube, which is
Hmm.
super helpful. There's also the other online like YouTube kind of style like platforms, but it's more like a university style kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, they have those as well. So there's a bunch of more options than there used to be, and I think that going to a brick and mortar university and sitting in a classroom is not necessarily the only way to get
Oh
into a
no, I'm
career.
not saying just brick and mortar
Yeah.
like schools. I'm saying like online schooling too and stuff. That counts.
Hmm.
You still get a degree at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
it's yeah, I don't think the importance of school to get you more money is going to change. Sure, being able to get a job is changing, but the effect on the pay, I don't think that's ever going to change. I think that's always going to be a stagnant thing that is just happening. I think that is going to
I
be
think it I think it depends on the situation. I think you're right though that like if you had to generalize it, you're probably right most of the time
yeah.
in most situations.
I mean, I really wonder how people get some of the jobs that they're in. Like I really
I do
wonder.
too.
I
I do
really
too.
wonder. Like, listen, I'm not saying anything specific, obviously, but like, bro, what the fuck? Like,
Well, my way of rationalizing it is that that's the majority of people,
yeah,
and there's no one else who wants to fill that role for how much they're
yeah.
getting paid.
Well, it's like
Like,
I see some of these people and then I talk to them, and then it's like you have no drive, you have no passion to do anything, dude. Like, what is your
mhm.
point? What is your point? Why are you even working? Why are you doing anything? You literally go home, do nothing. Like why? Why even come to college? Because it's like I. It sounds fucked up, but it's like if you're not useful, what's the point? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I don't get
Well,
what people with no
there's
drive do.
always
Is
going to
that
be
is that how you become homeless? Like, what happens to
well,
those people that have no drive?
there's always going to be people that are givers, and there's always going to be people that are takers. And I think there's the people who have the drive and they want to like contribute to society. They want to like build something. They want to like, you know, be useful. And then there's the people who take all the benefits from that.
Yeah.
And
There's always going to be
you can't
pitchers. There's
change
always
that.
going to be catchers, man.
Yeah, yeah. You can't change that. I think that's just human nature, you know?
Ooh.
So I mean,
What day is it?
we're
Hey,
never gonna
happy
change
July. We're in July.
that.
Oh, dude. Oh, God. Dana, you're what are you? You're catching?
No, dude. I think we're both pitchers in this situation. Dude, I've never whenever I think I've only played catcher twice in baseball. I hated catcher.
Whoa, hey,
I
pause.
I always liked being a pitcher. That was my thing.
All right, guys. Well, you know EDP 445, right? I won't say his full name because it's not exactly appropriate. It's not exactly the most appropriate thing to say, but EDP 445 was basically canceled for going to pick up a cupcake, also known as meeting up with a minor. But his excuse to why he was there was he was picking up a cupcake. We have another influencer who is again a nasty, terrible individual and should probably honestly spend the rest of their lives in a dark, deep dungeon where they have no human interaction. Colleen Ballinger, also known as MirandaSings, allegedly grooming. Oh, I just hit my mic there. Allegedly, who's grooming kids, says in her apology song on a ukulele, "I'm not a groomer. I am just a loser." Bro! One, you probably got caught and now you got outed. This was a last-ditch attempt for you to save face. And then the best part, you should have listened to your PR team, because at the beginning of your apology video, you're sitting there going, "Oh, my team is telling me not to do this. Yeah, it's a pretty good idea," because the like to dislike ratio on that is like 50%. I think it's like 300K dislikes and 40K likes.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy, dude.
Well, it's the same across all of these situations.
Oh, that's more than 40%. I mean, holy shit, it's less.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, okay, so now we have another thing. We have a creator who's using their position as a creator and their fame to message their fans. Their fans are so starstruck. Oh my God, my favorite artist, creator, whatever is messaging me. They're not thinking. And now you're grooming these kids. You're doing these things. And, you know, like, what's going on here? What's going on here? And everybody always says it's projecting when you talk about, you know, child predators and stuff like that. But it's not. They just use that to shut you up because they know you're in the wrong. Or they know they're in the wrong. You know, she's allegedly doing some pretty terrible things to kids. Same things that we've canceled other creators for. But why not this creator? Why not? Why is it funny? Why is James Charles able to have 50 of these, you know, I touched little boy scandals, but some of these other creators, they're gone right away. And I'm not saying that they should be given multiple chances. I'm saying it should be equal. If somebody's fucking around with kids, you need to get wiped off the face of this earth, canceled, never talked to again. That's when it's okay to cancel somebody, not when, you know, your feelings are hurt.
Look at their identity group, and that tells you all you need to know. Boom. You can't touch those people. They're protected. Can't touch women. You can't touch, you know, LGBTQ. Can't do any of those things.
Well, no, because here's my philosophy is very simple. It's like, if you're happy, I'm happy. It's simple. Simple as that. I don't care what you choose. I don't care what you want to call yourself. I don't care. I don't care. I just, you're happy, I'm happy. All right? Why is it a problem, though, if I disagree with you on something then? I'm okay with everything, okay? But if you disagree, like, if I disagree with you on something else, I'm a bigot. I'm a fascist. I'm Stalin. I'm Mao. I'm Hitler. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a terrible person because I like to carry my own opinions. I don't care what you're doing, so why do you care what I think? Right? Like, why? Because they want you to know. They want you to acknowledge it, and that's the thing. It's not
Well,
about
it's controlling. They're controlling your
yeah,
head.
yeah,
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to like manipulate every part about your way of thinking, so you'll think the same.
yeah.
And it works. I mean, if you look at like a bunch of these people, they all wear the same flag. They all think exactly the same. All of them. And so it's working. Clearly that works. And
Well,
they're just trying to get
you
you on
know,
the bandwagon.
we always see stuff like, father abused his kid for being, coming out as gay or stuff like that. What about just last week, just after Dana and I recorded last week's episode of Tea Talk? I'm on Twitter, I'm scrolling through and I see a news report. I see a news report from BBC. A lesbian couple murdered their adopted son because he didn't want to go to school in a dress. They murdered the kid. They stabbed him to death. He has 47 stab wounds because he didn't want to wear a dress to school. What?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. And I'm not saying like gay people shouldn't have kids either. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is these ultra uber insane psychopathic, I'm going to say woke because I'm not saying everybody on the left is woke. I'm just saying a specific group. It's this woke group. Just because you're a very small percentage of those on the people that are on the left or that consider themselves liberal or democratic, very small percentage. But why is it your kid disagrees with you? So the first thing that goes into your brain is to stab him 47 times. Guys, what is going on?
Just to clarify that, like, that's a really small percentage of people. That's not the majority of, LGBTQ people. That's not a majority of lesbian people. That is not a super common thing.
Yeah,
but it's just
not
the
at
fact
all.
that that's the thinking that was going on. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's two crazy people that got together, and all of this messaging that's going on, and this cult like mindset mentality. That's what brought them to justify their actions.
Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about a TikTok trend that's like terrible? It's what about all these people saying, "Oh, my schizophrenia is okay."
Yeah, no.
And you want school shootings to go down.
No.
Then you have these people
terrible.
running around talking to 50 different versions of themselves inside their head. Like, what's going on here? Schizophrenia is just okay? Like, I'm not saying you should be ostracized if you have schizophrenia. What I'm saying is you should seek help and take your medication because there's a TikTok trend going on, and they always say TikTok trend, but this is a legitimate thing I saw on TikTok. It's a trend. There's a hashtag and people posting for it. There are people throwing away their schizophrenia medication and just being like recording what's happening. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, where are your parents? Like, like where's your guidance in this world? Because clearly it's not okay.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean those people need help, 100%. I mean the people that they murdered their kid. I mean those people needed help a long time ago, and unfortunately, I mean from what I've seen, a lot of the people in that community. I mean, a lot of the people that become like woke and have all these different problems and they're out protesting and everything, those people have a lot of problems with mental illness, like pretty much all of them, and those people need help. They need, and we have to figure out how to help them. But it's like their whole party or their whole group of people just wants to like ignore the problems, sweep it under the rug. and just
Well,
ignore it. And just
honestly, they're just using them for votes. And honestly, votes
that
don't even
too.
matter anymore. Let's think about it for a second, guys. I mean, I say it every episode of this podcast. You are not, I don't care what anybody says, you're not voting for this country. The lobbyists are winning and voting for this country. You are useless. You are useless. If you want to vote for the people that is by the people, then you need to tally up and start accepting it, the popular vote. What's the problem with voter ID, though? What's the problem with voter ID? Well, what's California is giving everybody who has two legs and, anybody who has a pulse, a driver's license. It doesn't matter where you're from. You could be a trans-Siberian tiger. They'll give you a driver's license if you're here, legally or illegally. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My thing is, it's like, I want equality and I want everybody to be able to be happy and everything like that. That's fine. But if you're going to say that your version of equality is equality when it's clearly at the detriment of everybody else who doesn't agree with you, it's not equality. That's just trying to put yourself on top and have everybody under you.
Well, a lot of these people are selfish under the guise that they're like trying to be empathetic to people. That's a big thing with a lot of these people. They're all like, "Oh, we need to help the illegals. We have to help them get into the country.
Yeah.
We got to save them from their all the problems in their country." Well, the problems in their country are terrible, but getting rid of all of these people from that country is making the problem worse. How are they ever going to fix their country if you're getting rid of their population?
Well, not even just that. And it's like, it's worse for me. Why am I now having to pay more taxes? Why is American tax dollars? Why is American money being sent to other countries?
Why does America have to take care of them?
Yeah, I agree with it. It's not my job. It's not my responsibility to pay for these things. And this goes to everything. It's not my responsibility. I like not homeless shelters, but like, why are my tax dollars going to illegal centers? Why are my tax dollars going to these things? Let me choose what I pay my tax dollars to. Let me decide that. That should be a thing every year. When I'm filing my tax returns every year, what you should do is give me a piece of paper saying, Mark, this is how much you owe in taxes. Allocate those funds. This is what you can allocate those funds to. Allocate the funds to what you want to allocate your funds to. If you choose not to, it will be allocated for you. That's what it should be. We shouldn't have a system where I'm constantly paying money and I am funding these things that I do not fundamentally agree with.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be anyways with, voting. But the way it works now is like, yeah, you have the redistricting and you got the some of these areas are just like like the Democrats have the fact that they can control their voter group like
yeah,
so easily. They can just be like, oh yeah, we want you to do this, and this is what they all vote for it.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring in more people to vote for them, and they can just pass whatever they want. So that's what they're trying to do right now.
Why will we reach our hands out to an illegal immigrant who's statistically more likely to cause crime? Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the statistics. Be mad at math, okay? And if you want to be mad at math, then you have to go talk to God or whoever invented math. That's not my issue. That's your problem. Skill issue. But no, like, why is it that somebody will reach out their hands for somebody who's breaking the law, but will step over a homeless person that's already a U.S. citizen, who's already in the United States? Why aren't we helping the homeless, yet we're helping people who have no reason to be in this country? Oh, you're seeking political asylum. That is great. You know what? The only people that should right now be seeking any type of political asylum is Ukrainians. And whatever civil wars are going on in Africa. But do you know where they should be going? Neighboring countries, not to America.
Yeah.
Not to America. Why isn't Germany taking all of these Ukrainian people? Why isn't Turkey taking all of these Ukrainian people? Why is Greece being forced to take all of these Ukrainian people? Why are these other countries being forced to take these Ukrainian people? This is the big thing. If the people, like, that's it's all fucked up. It's all fucked up. Everything's wrong.
I think we talked about this in the last episode, but I think that I really think that we do need to help these other countries. I think that's where America is a great nation, because we have the ability to help these other countries. But right now, we have to get our priorities straight. Like, our country is failing. We need to fix our problems so we can help these other countries better, you know?
Yeah.
And also at the same time, like, some of these countries don't want our help. If you I mean, I've seen videos about this, but I mean, the people down in Mexico don't even some of the people don't even want our help. They want to do their thing.
They just
They
nationalized lithium.
Yeah, well, I'm talking more about, like, they don't even trust their own government. They trust the cartels, and they work with the cartels. I mean, it's a crappy situation, but I it's not really for us to make that decision. The same thing with, like, the people over in the Middle East. Like, why are we going over there and telling them how to do things? It's their country. Let them run it the way they want. I
Yeah.
mean, we got to prevent them from attacking us, of course. So kind of mitigate that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, we don't need to actually be over there telling them how to run their own country within their own borders, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that just make sense?
Yeah.
Like, we
No,
we
I
also don't need to
agree.
go to Canada and
Well,
tell them how to run their
Biden
country.
just got heckled, while he was giving a press conference because of Afghanistan. And they're saying, oh, Afghanistan's a failure. And he's like, well, I said the Taliban were going to help. Huh? What did you say? Bro, like, we are now trusting terrorist organizations in the Middle East. We're saying that we're helping Afghanistan, yet we just gave them a bunch of taxpayer money because we left a bunch of shit there. It's kind of funny. What is going on here? We have a president who is being found, his son is being found guilty for crime. Instead, everybody's focused on a witch hunt that's going on with Trump. Why are we still talking about Trump? His presidency is over. It's done. Get over it. Honestly, I mean, like, I don't like this notion.
They don't want him to run again.
And I know they don't want him to run again. But the problem is,
That's
every
why they're
time,
doing
but we're wasting resources. We're wasting time, and we're wasting.
Obviously.
Everything's being wasted. That's just what's happening.
But
You
they
have
don't
a
care.
corner.
They do not want him in because it prevents them from doing their agenda.
Yeah. But now we have a problem where the Republicans are infighting, or you have a problem where everybody's infighting, and then we can never unify in order to beat these other sides.
That's the interesting thing, though, because Trump is a Republican, right? But he's not. He is anti-establishment.
Yeah.
And a huge part of the Republican Party is establishment. Same with the Democrats.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where, like, the socialists and the populists can agree. Like, we both have establishment people controlling the party.
Yeah.
And
well,
Trump is trying to get rid of that,
I think it's deeper
and
rooted
that's why
than that.
both sides hate him.
I think it's deeper rooted than that. I think it's so corrupt, it's so fucked that everything is. I don't think it's legitimate. It's not true. There are people in the background that pull the strings. There are people that are making things happen. Why? Like, dude, George Soros, as soon as that guy finally keels over and dies, like, what's happening? Somebody's just gonna take his place. It's all of it goes back to where we really don't have control, and the people that want us to be actually free are being ostracized, are being attacked, are being. What has Elon done that is completely wrong? He's just given you a platform that actually has free speech. Why do people not like that? Why do people not agree with, oh, we should have free speech? Why is that?
Because it's wrong speech.
But to that,
Wrong think.
Oh, wrong speech. Oh, hate speech. Hate speech, hate speech. Nothing is hate speech.
Just all of the ideas that are allowed now that weren't allowed before.
Yeah.
Those people hate hearing that stuff because it's true and they can't deny it.
Yeah. But now
And
it's hate speech.
it completely destroys their whole worldview as soon as they see
Yeah,
it.
no, I mean, I love being called, I love showing proof like these people. This week, guys, I went on a Twitter fucking rampage, and all I said was, the stores that I've gone to, it looks like Bud Light's not selling that well. 27.3 thousand people decided to take their time, read my tweet, and then have a fucking field day in my replies, dude. I mean, let me read a couple. Let me pull some of these out for you. I was being called a bigot. I was being called so many things, and all I said was my eyes made an observation that there was a lot of more Bud Light boxes than any other beer there. So let's see for example. Let's see for example. How can you state what an entire group thinks without ever interacting with someone of that group? My reply was, hello, did you even read my fucking post? That's it. No reply. I actually got blocked by that account. They probably realized that they look stupid.
Of course.
Then we have, let's see. Hold on, let's see what else here. But Anheuser-Busch is still making money. Okay, that's great. They're still making money, but they're losing money on Bud Light.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody was getting mad, and this kid goes, citation, please? And I go, sure. So I started posting the replies. And the reply was showing how Bud Light's sales figures have, like, tanked over the past 3 weeks. And I show that, and now I'm being called a bigot. Math is bigotry now, I guess. Statistics. If you're getting a statistics degree, you better not. You're gonna get canceled because they're gonna say you're a bigot because you use percentages and fractions. I didn't say anything wrong to these people, yet I have 79 replies on my tweet and thousands of chains open on the tweet, whatever, with 27.3 thousand views. Just because I said, hey, my eyes saw this, and everybody was freaking out. Like, everybody was. Some of the people were like, oh, we're sorry, whatever. But the hive was unleashed, bro. Somebody opened the gates, and the Wrath of Gorlock, the Destroyer, came through, busting through, trying to make me go crazy. I'm what's up with that, dude? I love it though. I love seeing these people like get so mad, and then you hyperanalyze. They'll be like, "What's the definition of this?" And then I gave them the definition, and they said, "Well, thanks, Webster." And I go, "No, it was actually the Oxford Dictionary. Actually, I pulled that from Oxford."
All of their responses are just missing the point, or trying to like divert the conversation from the actual point because they can't refute it. That's their whole tactic.
No, they just start being mean too. Oh, you're a bigot, and then they'll start calling you names. Oh, I remember. Oh, somebody's stupid. Oh, look at a blue check mark. Learned how to read, and I'm like, I didn't say anything mean. All I said was when I went to the store the other day, Bud Light was fully stocked, and everything else was like people were picking up stuff and going crazy. So I'll take a picture this time. I will I'll go to the store July 4th. I will take a picture of the beer aisle. We will look together what beer is selling more. And I swear to God, if it's Bud Light, I'm going to laugh my ass off. Mind you, I don't have a problem with Bud Light. Beer is beer. Well, I have a problem with Bud Light because it just tastes like shit. I don't like Bud Light. I don't like Coors Light either. I drink Corona. I drink Heineken. I drink Greek beers. I don't like that. My beer list is very short. So I just don't drink it anyways. But, do you drink, Dana? How much? Let's go. We're pounding beers when you get here. Yeah. He's going to be a big 21-year-old. Not yet. Not yet. No,
yeah, but I have had Bud Light before, and it wasn't great.
We're getting Dana on his guys. Dana's 21st birthday celebration when he's with me. This man is gonna be rolling on the ground. You have to be.
Who's supposed to drive you home, dude?
Me. I'll drive.
You're not gonna be able to help yourself.
You're the one that's gonna be. Fine. Devin can drive us. Fine. Devin's girlfriend can drive us.
Devin too.
Which Devin?
Ooh.
I or O?
I.
Huh. Dude, I don't know. I like ranting. I think ranting's good. I feel like it's good to get your rants out. I think let's talk about something for a second.
Well,
Guys,
if anyone wants
hypothetically,
to,
if a plane was to crash, right? Hypothetically,
Yeah.
wouldn't you think that there would be like debris?
yeah.
So let's go back and let's look at some footage that I found from the Pentagon. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
What were you to say?
I was just gonna say, if you guys want to see his little bits of rants, that he goes on, and some replies and stuff, go follow him on Twitter. We'll put the link down in the description.
It's the
Then
fun.
you can,
It's the
then
best
you can
part.
see what's up.
It's the best part.
Yeah.
No, it's literally the best part. Like we literally sit here like Dana's been ignoring us, actually. Calling you out. I'm calling you out live on the air right now. Dana's been fucking ignoring us. He has not been in this chat with us at all. He hopped in the other night, he left. He didn't even say bye. He didn't even say bye.
On Discord?
Yeah, dude, man did not say goodbye. He just left.
I am a busy guy, okay?
A busy
Hard to
guy.
pin me
Busy
down.
guy at 11:30 p.m. What are you doing?
Well, I was hanging out with family at that time.
11:30?
Yep. I was.
What family?
My mom.
Oh, interesting. Were you guys pounding beers?
Definitely. For sure. No, just talking.
Bro, I'm almost done with
Usual.
the Chris Chan documentary. I'm on part 4 of 6, I think.
Part 74 of 6?
Part 74 of 76 parts, yeah.
76, okay. That's a lot of parts.
Dude, I watched the
how
whole
long
thing.
is each part?
It differs, dude. It can go up to an hour.
Oh my gosh, dude, you're wasting your time.
Dude, listen, man. They documented this entire guy's life. It's like the Truman Show. He's like, he went insane. He legitimately has schizophrenia and thinks that he merged his body with a Pokemon that he made up. Like, it is the funniest shit on the planet.
That sounds sad.
Like, it's at the level of the guy where he said he was becoming a werewolf. You remember that video where he's screaming? Let's see if we can pull that up really quick.
No,
See
I
if we can
don't.
pull
I
that
actually
up.
don't remember that video.
My werewolf transformation. Dude, it's funny as hell. Oh, here it is. I found it. It's on TikTok. Of course it is. Look at this. This is oh, I guess I can't show it because it's on web, but I'll share a link with you, Dana, so you could watch it. Here.
Okay.
Holy.
We'll post
Put
that in
your
the description,
fucking
I'm
headset on, you
assuming.
motherfucker. Dang, Dana was not happy earlier.
Let's see.
You gotta watch it. No, yeah, watch it. Watch his transformation, man.
Who's this guy?
He's transforming. He's a werewolf. Can't you tell from the transformation? We'll put the link in the description, guys, as always, so you can see it.
Well, yeah, people need more help.
Dude, I bring back natural selection, dude. Get rid of seatbelts. Like,
dude, let him be a werewolf.
Let him be a werewolf, my man.
Out in the wild.
Yeah, bro. It's like
of the woods.
Dude, no, he goes to the woods and he sees like a bunch of wolves and he's like, that's my pack, man. And then he gets torn up and we see a news report of man goes and gets torn up by pack of wolves tonight.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what's going on, man? Why are people becoming stupider? People are actually becoming stupider. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It bothers me. Because when I see like what some of these people think and say, I literally go like,
you combined have like a 5 brain cell family. It has to be. It has to be. Because like I really wonder. I wonder.
Well,
but
dude,
we'll see.
I also said this in the last podcast, but it's a lack of challenging their brain.
Challenging the
That's
brain.
what it is. Yep.
You know, that's why
exactly
you
what it
should
is.
that's why people should do drugs. So they can train the brain. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Don't do drugs. Don't be like Tasso.
Hey! I'm not it's not like I'm on 27th Avenue shaking my ass to try to get a bump of coke. Like what?
Why aren't you?
Cuz I'm not
That's the
I
real
don't use
question.
that stuff.
Why
I
not?
use a legal substance that I go to a regulated retailer for.
Well, good for you.
Thank you.
You're
I really like it there. It's really funny.
welcome. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Dude, no, I think we're straight. I think this is today's like I think we went kind of nutty. I think I really liked this episode. I hope you guys agree.
Definitely went nutty.
You need to go nutty one of these times.
Yeah, we'll see. You gotta find something to make me go nutty.
Well, dude, COD's audio is
Oh,
not
that's a good topic, dude. Save
not
that for
fucking
later.
terrible. Just say it right now. Say it right now. Something is fucking the audio. Dude, like you have audio issues in every game, and you are not an audiophile. You cannot tell me,
dude. I think it's just. I think it's. I don't know.
What if you just have bad hearing? What if you just have bad hearing?
I just got my hearing checked yesterday, and they said I have perfect hearing.
Fuck you! I went yesterday. I got receipts, dog. I went to the ear doctor.
Dude, I went to the doctor yesterday for my physical. I got my hearing checked. Perfect. So it's not my hearing and it's not my headphones because plenty of people have these headphones and have no problems. And I really don't think it's the ear cuffs because I have different ear cuffs, right?
But it's like it's just you having the problems. I feel like because you're hearing
just me having the problems.
Like because you'll hear you won't hear things that I hear clear as day.
Yeah, but I think it's different, from different perspectives. You said one time that you heard it. I do not hear it at all. Like if you were in the moment with me and you were like watching it with me at the same time, real time, there's no way you're gonna discern like.
But I mean, like I've been like, but that's the thing. I feel like I've been gaming long enough that where I can do that. I've been gaming for my entire life. I feel like I'm conditioned to pick up the little details. That's what games have taught us to do. Yeah.
I think you're delusional when it comes to that. I think
you think I'm delusional. You think I'm delusional.
Yeah.
Says the one who sounded like a fucking gorilla who's getting railed when he got killed in Call of Duty. I have that clip. I will put that fucking link in the description. Do not start with me. Do not start with me.
Yeah. No. We can talk about audio and games in a different video if you want to.
Oh no, for sure.
We can talk about problems in games in a different video, 100%. That's a long topic. I can talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, no, guys, again, of course, thank you. We want to hear your suggestions. Join the Discord. Put a comment down. You don't even need to join the Discord. If that's not your type of thing, don't. Just drop a comment. I read them. I go through them. It'd be nice if we had a comment for me to read because we don't. I think we have one. But no, like, honestly, guys, we want to hear what you want to say. If you want to talk to us, if you want to be a guest, let us know. But yeah, guys, thank you, of course, for your support.
Always share with your friends if you like what we're doing.
Yep.
If they find it interesting, awesome. They can share with their friends and keep spreading the word.
Yep. And that's what it is. Alrighty, everybody, have your own opinions. The lobbyists are going to win, and we need to drain the swamp. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming and watching the only podcast to watch, T-Talk.
There you go. And use code T-Talk.
T-Talk for 10% off.